Cavaliers open their series against the Celtics tomorrow. We are pleased to welcome in Cleveland coach Mike Brown. Mike, I want you to go back a couple of days for me to when LeBron shot the free throw with his left hand, and you watched that. Exactly what went through your mind when you saw your best player do that?
I didn't know what was going on. He had said right before he shot the free throw, he said something to me about timeouts. And I thought he asked how many timeouts we had, so I told him 2. And then he kind of shook his head and said something else, so I was guessing that he wanted to know how many Chicago had. So I shook my head and I said, no, they have 1, we have 2. And so he shot the ball, and when he came to the sidelines, I said, what'd you shoot it left-handed for? And he said he was asking me to take a timeout so he can get his elbow stretched or something like that at the time, because it bothered him on his last free throw attempt. I didn't know that, and I didn't hear or understand what he was trying to say, and that's why he shot it left-handed.
Well, the reports now, Mike, that the elbow will be fine, but do you expect the Boston Celtics to just sort of test that out a little bit themselves to make sure?
You know, they're a physical team, and you know, I told somebody earlier today they're going to test his elbow, Shaq's thigh, Mo's hip, Delonte's left foot. I mean, they're a physical team, and they're going to come at us, and we're going to have to match that physical intensity, if not take it to another level, in order to win the series. This series is not going to be like last series. There's going to be a lot more biting, scratching, clawing, just to get possessions every time down the floor.
You are so tied, as everybody knows, to one of the transcendent stars in all of sports, LeBron James. How would you describe, Mike, your relationship with LeBron?
You know, the one thing that I know, that going into it, it wasn't about me being his boss. It's still not about me being his quote-unquote boss. We are working together for one common goal. And as great as he is on the floor, he has some terrific basketball ideas. There are a lot of times when I think I'm out there and I might trick my team into doing something. The one guy that I have to really watch, because I feel like he sees and knows everything, similar to Tim Duncan, is LeBron. But at the end of the day, I get paid what I get paid to make the final decision.
You get paid what you get paid. It is nowhere near what he gets paid. And you talk about the fact, you make it sound like he's sort of a co-coach. What you hear is that, oh, LeBron really is the coach. LeBron coaches the Cavs. When you hear that, given your philosophy and your relationship with him, how does that sit with you, Mike?
That's fine. There are going to be a lot of things out there that people say, and I just have to keep doing my job. You ask anybody on the team, he's not the only one that has that leeway. I'll listen to anybody. Any of our players at any given time are allowed to step up in any meeting, during any practice, any walkthrough, off the floor at any time, and give a suggestion. I look at myself as a filter where I got to make the final decision on whatever information I get thrown my way, and I'm okay to listen to everything and anything from these guys, because I trust and believe in everybody around me.
Mike, you're clearly talking about a coach's accountability when you answer that question, and I want to follow up with this. Is the coach, you in this case, going to get blame if LeBron is not there following this year?
You know, I haven't even thought of that. I was fortunate enough to go through this same process and see it firsthand in San Antonio. A lot of people don't remember this, but Tim Duncan was a free agent. He played the final year of his contract in San Antonio some years ago. At the end of the year, he was a free agent. Orlando was one of the heavy favorites to land him. Doc Rivers was in San Antonio before. With Tim, so he knew him. Paul Pressey was an assistant coach in San Antonio, and he left to go to be a part of Doc Rivers' staff in Orlando. And Pop did not panic. He stayed even killed. He didn't even talk about it. His job, when I say his job, Pop's job, Pop kept stressing that it was his job to make the Spurs the best possible organization as possible. Not only the best possible organization, but a winning organization. And at the end of the year, at the end of the day, it's going to make Timmy's decision tougher when he has to make that decision.
We'll get you out of here on this. Given that story, given the fact that everybody at San Antonio, when you were there, was worried about Doc Rivers stealing Duncan? Are you going to go up to Doc during this series and say, keep your hands off my boy?
Oh, yeah. I can't let Doc steal LeBron during this series.
Thank you for joining us, Mike. Best of luck.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
We're taking